Welcome to No Limits to Success, the podcast that empowers you to break barriers and achieve your dreams. Hosted by Les Moyer, this show brings you inspiring conversations with trailblazers who redefine success in business and life. Les interviews guests ranging from startup founders to industry titans, uncovering their hard-won wisdom, innovative strategies, and the mindset that propelled them to extraordinary heights. Get ready to unlock your potential and discover that in the world of success, there truly are no limits.
Hello, Joe.
Hello, Les. How are you?
Oh, fantastic. Thank you. It's been, I've loved meeting with you when you came to Brisbane, and it actually, I must admit, I hadn't read your book before, and it inspired me to do that. Or actually, it took the cheats way. I listened to the book on audio book. Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. It gave me a lot more insight into your experience and your journey through the creation and the building of Reebok. And I guess one of my questions, I'm a coach who takes businesses basically from potentially when they're launching small businesses up to probably around about the 250,000 mark where they're building solidly. But I'd love to get your insight into what advice you would give them at that stage.
Up to 250,000 from 0 to 250. Well, I think that if you manage to get to 250, then it's a question saying, well, okay, now where do we take it?
Yes.
And judging exactly how well you're doing, it'd be a question of saying, are we on the right path? Do we need to go somewhere else? Is there a different, or can we take this and take this bigger? Because certain companies would run into a wall of, well, really, we've reached the most we can do on here, but maybe we need to look in other directions. But if as we did with Reebok, we had to look for what we call white space, and white space was something that well, this is an area that we know, but we could probably make a difference to this area if we go in. and for us, we started off with when we were quite small. We started off with fell running, cross country running. We went into rugby league because Adidas were not there. Adidas were in soccer. Adidas, they were in running, but they were in track and field, and so we had to tiptoe around and find our way into other areas. But enjoyed getting to 50. You've got to say, how do we go forward now?
Yes. Sorry. No. I'm just saying. I noticed a couple of times during your book that you really focused on looking for the opportunities rather than just letting it roll. And I thought that was interesting in the way that you actively were consistently looking for new opportunities to find white space. And I guess that's a mindset in the way that you started out. And did that come from previous, or was that something that you learned?
I think we had to learn it because the family business, which of course was started by my grandfather in 1895, continued by my father and uncle, but they didn't progress the business. My grandfather done a really wonderful job in founding the business and developing the business, but my father and uncle, they just fought all the time. They couldn't get on with each other, and the result of that is the business didn't progress and the business went down. And so Jeff and I saw this, and we asked the founder, we need to change, we need to do something different, but they didn't listen. And so we knew we had to change things ourselves. So in doing so, we really had to say, well, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to move away from the family business, which is fine, but what are we going to do? We know we're going to sports footwear, but it was at that point where we had to say, okay, what do we do? Where can we make a difference? And our first move was to go into cycle shoes. That was okay. It started it off very nicely, but we had a very good salesman, and unfortunately he died in a road accident. And so our cycle shoe business, suddenly from being one that was really growing, almost died. we had more than one salesman, and by that time we'd gone into we got into athletics, because Jeff was an athlete. He liked running. I didn't. He liked cycling. I didn't. But so we got into cycling, went into running. I played badminton, but that wasn't just what we could go into. That was rubber footwear, it was plimsolls and that type of footwear at the time. So we didn't go into that. But we always had to think, where is the white space? What can we move into? And we were happy. We moved into numerous things. We actually did rock climbing boots at one time, and that was a very specialist area. So we did a lot of things. In fact, we even made a parachute boot, would you believe? And the parachute boot has a very, very thick sponge cushion, so that when you landed on your feet, it was very cushioned. Didn't last very long, but we tried all these things. And I think if you're developing your business, you've got to be willing to try numerous things, because the world changes, and what the world requires changes, and sometimes rapidly. Our biggest white space was aerobics. I had got into America. When I go into America, one of our guys down in Los Angeles, it was his wife that was going to these classes, coming back full of it with her friends. And it was Arnold Martinez. He asked Frankie, he said, "Frankie, what are you doing?" And she said, "We're doing aerobics." He said, "Come on, what's aerobics?" She said, "It's exercise to music." And so this exercise to music, that was it. And Arnold just thought at the time, why don't we make a shoe just for aerobics, just for women, on a woman's last? And so we made this shoe just for women. And that was a wonderful marketing ploy, because it wasn't just a sneaker, which was a generic sneaker made in all sizes, but for women, we would make small sizes. No, this was specifically for aerobics, specifically for women. And we gave women something they'd never had. They never had a sports shoe just for them. So this was something that we made just for women. And that to me was probably the reason why women just took it. We were a small company. We were a small running company, but we pivoted and we became a woman's company, a fitness company, a woman's fitness company. We pivoted that way. And in doing that, we went from 9 million to 900 million in 4 years.
Wow. Yeah. I think that's amazing advice, in finding that not competing against the biggest in your industry as you're growing, but finding that white space. It's really important where I guess pivoting is also something that's essential, where you've got you're trying to either there's changes that's happened quite regularly over the last few years with COVID, and then the changes after COVID, and the ability to be flexible and let something go that has been the status quo, I guess. And I'd noticed, like reading or listening to your book, there was quite significant times in your history that you've had come up against huge challenges, both I guess in your personal life and in business life, and you've observed those challenges and worked around them. I mean, you said a few times you were saying that your business almost died, and you've just dug down deep and found a way around it. Can you talk to me about, I guess, the resilience that you need to get past those points where a lot of businesses just, hand in the towel and move back?
Yeah, we learned from a very, very early time. We had to change our name. We started as Mercury, and we couldn't register Mercury, so we had to change. And we found a better name. We found Reebok. Adidas didn't like our silhouette, which was 2 stripes and a T-bar. They said it infringed their 3 stripes. So we had to change that, and we changed it to the Vector, which we see now. So we thought, we've got a better name, and now we've got a better silhouette. So I didn't think it was around that time when we thought, just a minute, these are challenges, but challenges now, they're opportunities. So we started to look at challenges as opportunities. Okay, we're either not doing something right, or we could improve, and this is what we're being challenged. So we found that whatever wherever we went in the future, it was a matter of saying, okay, this is a challenge. We must be doing something wrong, or we could do something better. And so we began to look at that. This is an opportunity. So I think if people consider challenges and problems as opportunities rather than problems, it gives you a different view on business, and you find then that you're enjoying that. You're enjoying the challenges. I think the reason that I backed out in 1990, I sort of stepped out of day-to-day life with Reebok because the challenges were no longer there for me. We were that big. We got to 4 billion, and how big do you need to be? You've got loads of lawyers, you've got loads of accountants, and lots of people in between. I was just traveling the world, meeting the people that I had put on as distributors, and that was okay. But I'm saying, why am I doing this? There was no challenge. So I guess in my DNA, I must enjoy the challenges, and that for me is you just keep on pushing and pushing and just trying to change something.
Yeah, so I guess that for me, I class that in mindset is looking at challenges as opportunities, and I guess with you've also been a leader as well as your own path. So how big a part in training people and bringing people up would you in your ranks, would you say that mindset has been?
I think it's right to have the right mindset, but I also think that what you're doing is you want more people to share, because as I say, Arnold Martinez, he came up with the aerobics shoe, and I forget now who brought the pump in, but these are the people, Sutherland, I think it's Paul Sutherland, but you need these people. You need them to be thinking and be part of the company. So whilst we would say I'm an entrepreneur, really I'm a brand builder. I believed in brand. This wasn't about Jeff Foster. It wasn't about Joe Foster. It was always about Reebok. And so people can get so many people into Reebok, and they all remember that. There's so many people now who have left Reebok many years ago still understand that being part of Reebok. They have alumni meetings, and people remember that, and people remember things like the pump. They remember those moments when we got into aerobics and how that changed the company, and we were willing to change. We were willing to pivot and go down that road and enjoy it. So it becomes your life, it becomes your passion, and the most important thing. And people ask me what the most important thing is about operating is having fun.
Yes.
You've got to have fun. You've got to be able to laugh and just have fun. There will be problems, but again, if you treat those as opportunities, and you'll find that somebody in the company, somebody around you will think, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And so it's sharing. So when you're leading people, it's really giving them the opportunity to be a big part of the company and to share what they have. And that does help. It really does help when everybody's thinking in the same direction and working for the same end.
Oh, that's inspiring. Thank you, Joe. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on, and I'm inspired by that and making sure that I love having fun in my business, and I want to encourage other people that's something I think that gets you through those hard times is when you've got a group of people and you're enjoying the process. It's something that can keep us going no matter what. So it's been inspiring. Again, I appreciate your time, and I've got a few. I'm going to hand your book out to a few people because I think it's something that people can learn a lot from.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and it's keeping us busy. It really is. We're traveling and we're talking about it. And we're meeting people. So been really great to meet you, Les. And I'll let you. It must be late for you now, sometime in the middle of the night.
Yeah, it's very early in the morning, but look, it's well worth the time. It was an absolute pleasure. You have a great evening or great day over there. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Les, and same to you. And hopefully one of these days we'll meet up again in Australia.
Yes, or maybe when I come across, I'd love to catch up.
Maybe, whatever. Right.
Thank you for listening to No Limits to Success with Les Moyer. We hope today's episode has sparked new ideas and motivation for your own journey. Remember, the only ceiling on your success is the one you create in your mind. To connect with Les's guests and explore their work, check out the links in our show notes. And if you want to dive deeper into the No Limits mindset, visit our website at nolimitstosuccess.com.au for exclusive content, resources, and upcoming events. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a review. It helps others discover the show. Until next time, keep pushing boundaries and redefining what is possible. And remember, there are no limits to success.